So, how do you turn a $10 million severance check into a multi-billion-dollar global empire? It sounds impossible, right? Well, that's literally the story of Michael Bloomberg. Today, we're diving into his 1997 autobiography, Bloomberg by Bloomberg, to pull out the exact blueprint he used to build one of the most powerful financial information companies on Earth. All right, so let's get the basics out of the way. We're looking at Michael Bloomberg's story in his own words. And what's really key here is the timing. This was written way before he was mayor of New York City. This is pure, unfiltered insight from a founder right in the middle of his company's explosive growth. Here's how we're going to break it all down. We'll start at the beginning, his early days. Then we'll hit the huge turning point in his life. After that, how he actually built the company, his 5 core rules for success, and of course, we'll wrap up with our final grade. Okay, let's kick things off. Every story has an origin. And for Michael Bloomberg, it wasn't some fancy boardroom. It was a blue-collar town just outside of Boston. This is what set the stage for his climb into the absolute heart of global finance. You can really see the trajectory here. It's just pure ambition. He starts from a public high school where, not many kids went off to college, and he just powers his way through Johns Hopkins and then Harvard Business School. But what's really interesting is that Wall Street wasn't even the plan. It was a total chance interview in 1966 that landed him at the legendary investment bank Salomon Brothers. So after 15 super successful years at Salomon Brothers, where he even became a partner, you'd think he was set for life. Well, his career there came to a screeching halt. But, as you're about to see, this wasn't a setback. It was probably the single best thing that ever happened to him. $10 million. That's what he walked away with in 1981 after Salomon got acquired. To put that in perspective, in today's money, that's well over 30 million bucks. I mean, that's disappear to a private island and never work again kind of money. So let's just pause on that for a second. Seriously, what would you do with that kind of cash? Most of us, let's be honest, would probably call it a day. But Bloomberg, he saw it completely differently. For him, this wasn't retirement money. It was rocket fuel for what he was going to do next. All right, so this is where the story really gets good. He took that massive payout, plus all the tough lessons he learned on the trading floor, to build something totally new, a company that would completely change the game for how Wall Street gets its information. One of the biggest lessons he learned at Salomon wasn't about money. It was about leadership. He saw 2 guys at the top. Billy Salomon, the guy was a rock. He made a decision, and that was that. John Gutfriend, who came after him, was the opposite, always asking for opinions, which just led to confusion. The takeaway for Bloomberg was crystal clear. Lead from the front, be consistent, and have one set of rules for everyone. And this right here is just brilliant. It's his unique take on business planning. Forget the fancy slide decks. His whole method was, 1, write out your plans so clearly that your biggest skeptic would have to say, okay, I get it. 2, that process forces you to find and fix every single hole in your idea. And then 3, and this is the craziest part, just tear up the paper. You've done the hard thinking. You've internalized it. Now you can just go and do it. So this brings us to the real heart of it all, what you might call the Bloomberg way. We can boil his entire philosophy down into 5 core rules. And these aren't just, nice quotes. This is the operating system that runs his company and his whole career. Okay, rule number 1. And look, there's no sugarcoating this one. Work ethic is everything. He says it right there. You can't control how smart you are, but you can 100% control how hard you work. In his view, success comes down to putting in more focused hours than the competition. End of story. Rule number 2 is all about execution. Don't promise the world. I mean, when he got his first huge customer, Merrill Lynch, he didn't try to build the whole system at once. Nope. He just focused on delivering one small part of it perfectly. Then he built on that trust. It's all about nailing the small wins first. Now, rule number 3, this one's my favorite. Be the contrarian. He basically says if everybody else is zigging, you better be zagging. Why? Because if you're playing by your competitor's rules, you're already losing. By going against the grain, you get to create your own game, one where you have the advantage. Rule 4 is such a powerful idea. Sell what actually works today. Don't sell a dream. He consistently won business because while his competitors were showing off slick presentations about what their product would do someday, he was rolling in a machine that they could use right then and there. It's about delivering real results, not just hype. And the 5th and final rule ties it all together. It's all about the people.
Everything from his famous open office layout to a flat management style was designed to do one thing: build a real meritocracy. He believed the ultimate cheat code in business is hiring brilliant, creative people and them getting the heck out of their way.
Okay, so we've covered his journey, his philosophy. What's the final verdict? Is Bloomberg by Bloomberg a must-read for anyone trying to build something great? Let's get to the grade.
If you boil it all down, the biggest lesson here is that his success wasn't some one-off stroke of genius. It was a powerful combination of things: simply outworking everyone else, being obsessed with delivering a product that actually solved a problem, and building a culture where amazing people could do their best work.
Now, about the book itself. The prose, it's incredibly direct, almost brutally honest at times, and it is jammed with practical, real-world advice. The cons? Well, it's an autobiography, so you're getting his side of the story, and yeah, it can feel a bit self-serving at times. It's an amazing look inside a founder's brain, but it's definitely not a neutral history lesson. For its raw honesty, its actionable advice, and the incredible insight it gives you into the mind of a true builder, we are giving Bloomberg by Bloomberg a final grade of 8 out of 10. The lessons are just so valuable, even if some of the stories feel like they're from a different time.
And hey, if you liked this breakdown and you're hungry for more stories from legendary founders, we highly recommend 2 books. First, Shoe Dog by Nike's Phil Knight. It's an incredible story of pure grit. And second, The Ride of a Lifetime by former Disney CEO Robert Iger, which is just a masterclass in leadership.
That's all for this explainer. If you want to keep digging into the world's most influential ideas and the people behind them, make sure you follow and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. We'll see you on the next one.